This is an introduction for using LenvoHRM. LenvoHRM is a human resources management system that allows the HR department to manage employees' information, either personal, administrative information, and financial information as well. In this video, we will go through a simplified example in order to give an introduction on how to use the application. First of all, you go to your demo account, log in with the sent username and password, and directly, as soon as you log in, you will view the dashboard. The dashboard, it shows a number of charts or statistics, lists for easy access and fast reach to information. In the first box, you will see the count of active employees, employees on duty, new recruits for this month, suspensions, count of quittance, and the turnover percentage. Moreover, you will see the late time percentage for all of your employees. This will be calculated automatically through connecting attendance devices to our system. The system will show no shows for today and compare them with yesterday's numbers. As well as this, you will view the percentages of overtime and the count of pending requests and the duration for each pending request. In the dashboard, you will also be able to view to-do list. In this list, the system will display different tasks that must be done by the HR department. For example, like expired official documents will be viewed in to-do list in order to notify employees and the HR department in order to renew them. As well as this, the list will display tasks like uncalculated salaries for certain employees for a certain month. Recently accessed, over here you will view the employees' names whom were recently accessed by the user. Latest news, over here we will display latest news for LenvoSoft, recent updates, what's new, and new modules. Moreover, in the bottom you will view late morning ends, no shows for today and yesterday absent employees. So in a short glimpse, you will view a lot of information related to daily work. As well as this, the dashboard includes shortcuts, fast buttons to access, either to add an employee, add a vacation, or add a procedure or view reports. In the first step, we will not go through the system settings in this video, and the system settings are explained in a different video. However, when you get your license of LenvoHRM, you will have the default settings within the application, and these settings will be in line with the country's laws and regulations. So directly we will go to adding a new employee, either from the menu or from the shortcut. Let's go to manage employees, and I will hit new. Over here I have different tabs, starting with the personal information for the employee. I will start entering the name of the employee in 2 different languages. So I can change the primary language It could be English, it could be Arabic, it could be any other language. So the system will operate on two different languages, starting with AH as an example, employee test. And I will take the same name for the English field. Start filling different pieces of information like the email, which is extremely useful for notifications and to access the self-service pages for the employee, which will be explained in later stages. Also, I would select the country, the city, address, national ID, what kind of document I used to obtain these information. So all of these fields are related to personal information. We'll talk about the details and files later on. I hit save. So now I have saved the personal information for the employee. The second step will be defining the contract for the employee. Through the tab of contracting, I have contracts. Now I start with new. I would enter the recruiting date, and let's assume it's on the 1st, and I would select designation. Over here I would select the department, the job title. When you get your license, these fields will be empty, departments or job titles. Every drop-down list in the system, you would have 3 dots on the side of it. By clicking on these 3 dots, you will go to the screen of the departments or to the screen of the job titles. Over here you can add departments, and then over here you refresh the page and you will have the departments over here. So I select basic salary and subject to SSC, which is referred to Social Security. This calculation is based on the country law, so it will be in line with the operating country. Joining date of SSC, and the payment method, either cash or money transfer or check or sending salaries to bank, etc. I would select the bank, the branch name, etc. Subject to tax, over here taxation options will be displayed according to the country's law again, and tax will be calculated based on these rules. I would hit save in order to save the contract. Over here I would see the archiving of the contract. If I want to do any amendment on the contract, I can just add new, and I would select amendment. This will give me an archived view for the contracts for the employee. Over here I can manage the health insurance by selecting the contract, by entering claims, etc. Managing funds and provident funds or any kind of funds could be managed from here within the contracting tab. In the attendancy, I would tell the software, I would identify the working schedules for these employees. I would select a date, starting date, and I would select either schedules or shifts, and then I will have the week working schedule, which are not entered because this copy is new. I would select an attendancy rule, which is considered to be a rule for the system in order to calculate the attendancy based on the company's policies. These attendancy rules could be defined again by clicking over here. We'll talk about the attendancy rules in a different video. I'm not going to add a tendency for this employee for this video because we want to go through calculations and I don't have any punches in or out for this employee. In the overtime tab over here, you can add overtime manually or view the calculated overtime automatically. In other words, the system calculates overtime from two different sources. The manual entry, what the user enters, and if the system was connected to our tendency devices, the system will automatically compare the log, the tendency log, to the expected working schedules and calculate the overtime based on the company's policies. So from here, I'm going to add a new overtime. I would select the type, regular overtime. Again, I can view the overtime types from here. And you can enter in days, in hours, in minutes, or you can enter it in date and time till date and time. Let's enter over here for our example, let's say 2 hours overtime, and I can type the description for later reference. Hit save, back to the overtime, I have my entry. I would go to vacations. In the vacations, I have a lot of options. However, I'm going to focus on the main aspects of the vacation entries. Over here, I can add a new vacation for the employee. By selecting the type of the vacation, the system will view the current balance for this employee. Again, balancing is done automatic by the system. So the system can add balances for different types of vacations according to the country's law or the company's policies. Again, you would have groups for this, like you would have different kind of balancing transactions for different types of employees. For an example, you might have 20 days annual vacation for all the employees. However, the top management, you would have something like 30 days. So you can achieve this by different types of vacations. You would enter the start date, end date, or enter the actual date. Over here you can enter returns in case of the employee returned a bit early or a bit late in comparison to the requested vacation. This will affect the balance. In the operations, you might add starting balances. And over here, all financial effects for the vacations will be displayed in this tab. Types. Over here, you would see the current balance for each employee and the balance from last year. You would have other options over here. By clicking on the balance itself, the system will display a list of details that could be exported to Excel or PDF. This will show in details how the balance of a certain vacation has changed over time. In the procedures, over here I would add different types of procedures, either financially or administrative procedures. We'll start by adding a new procedure. The system will show if it's an allowance or a deduction. Again, the types of procedures could be modified by clicking over here, going to the screen of the procedures. You can add different types of procedures. Procedures that are entered in a money format. Others could be entered as a percentage format of the basic salary. Some of the procedures might go over, will be active for a whole year for the employee. Other procedures might end at a certain time. So over here, I'm going to add for November let's say 200, and I can attach a file that is relevant to this procedure. Hit save, and in the procedures I have transportation. I can add a new procedure. Let's say it's a loan. I can define the count of months, let's say 3 months, and I would say the value of let's say 300, and the system will directly calculate the installments. I can modify these installments, and I would say this is 50 and this is 150. Again, notes, and I can attach a file. As well as this, I can save and print this procedure. You would have default templates from our system. However, we have a feature that you can upload a Word document into our system and placing different parameters within the Word document, and it becomes a template that you can print it through our system. Let's save this procedure and then continue. Assets in custody. Over here you can give different assets to your employees, and you need to manage them, like laptops, cars, whatever. You can hit new, and you start selecting the asset group and the assets within this group. When the employee returns this asset, you would enter the end date and the notes if you have. You cannot end the services of an employee if he has assets in his custody. Taxation. Over here, the taxation options are going to be calculated based on the country's law. After adding an employee, so this is the procedure of adding an employee and adding different financial procedures and related identifying related attendancy schedules. By going to manage attendancy, I have 2 different employees. I can view the organizational structure either from the icon over here or from the menu over here. So if I have different departments and divisions and job titles, over here the organizational structure will be displayed. Over here the organizational structure will be displayed. Going back to the system, I would go to the main menu. I see over here I have 2 employees on duty. Let's start by calculating the salaries and getting salary slips and salary statements. From salaries, calculate salaries, and I would select the appropriate month that I want to calculate the salary for, and then I hit calculate. Let's select a certain employee, H. I can select the department as well, or multiple departments. Hit calculate, and the system calculates the salaries. Let's go for reports. We have a wide range of reports: financial reports, attendancy reports, and other related employees related reports. Start with salary slip. Over here in the top menu, you have a search bar. In this search bar, what you can do is basically enter any piece of information related to the employee, like name, ID, telephone number, national ID, whatever. Let's say AH, and the system will search in the employee's information and will get you the employee for easy access. This search box is available on all over the system. To reach the system settings as well, we have the icon on the top. Clicking over here, you will have all the system settings, which are covered in a different video. So over here I have the salary, back to salary slips. Over here I can select the month. Again, I can select employees or departments. Hitting show report. And the system will display a detailed salary slip showing the employee name, ID, the basic salary, working days, department and job title. As well as this, you will have the actual salary, the basic salary, social security, regular or overtime, which is calculated by the system, transportation, and the first installment of the loan. You have totals. As well as this, you can display the vacation balances for this employee in order to have a monthly validation for each employee, and the signature at the bottom. You would have your logo as well on the top. All our reports could be exported to different types like PDF, Excel, Word, whatever, and could be printed or sent by email. This is the main video for the demo, which will allow you to get details on how to use the application. You can view more reports in details. You can go and identify different settings. Thank you.